Hello everybody, I'm here with this beautiful 1989 ZX10 that doesn't belong to me, unfortunately. It belongs to me! That was quite a jump. The one and only Ash Rowland, who you've probably seen on some of my videos, and I do want to thank you for many desperate attempts to get me subscribers, and you've got me. I think my wife subscribed to me because you told her to, but we're getting there.
Fully support any small YouTube channel, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
thank you.
We've got to get up there and beat the likes of Matt Armstrong.
We do. We have to exactly.
Anyway,
not quite a broken, smashed up Porsche of Matt Armstrong, but anyway, I'm lucky enough today to be going out for a little test ride on this and to jump back in time to 1989. Now, spec-wise, very unprofessional, but I'm going to tell you right now that this is about 135 to 137 horsepower, they say, which is the same as my Fireblade, as Bumbleblade. And I think mileage-wise, they're both about the same, aren't they?
Yes, I think yours has done 42. It's done 43. I think this might ride a little bit different to the Fireblade. This is not a track-oriented
Well, it's certainly going to be a lot more comfortable than the Fireblade. The Fireblade is that sort of thing, you know. Apparently 167 miles an hour. Now, I promise not to do that today. Maybe 160, no, I promise not to. But this is one of Ashley's restorations. I'm going to put the link to the playlist above, so you can pop in there, and then maybe I'll get you to subscribe, and we're even then.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as restoration.
Give us a brief intro or explanation on this. How bad was it when you got it?
Not too bad, actually. I've done very little to the cosmetics of this bike. So this was stored in a shed or a garage for over 10 years. I can't exactly pinpoint exactly how long it was abandoned or neglected for, because, well, there was no MOT history on it. There might have been. Anyway, but it came with another bike, a CBR 1000F. So I featured both bikes kind of at the same time because they were both kind of time capsule bikes. They're all original apart from the exhaust, but you know, everyone changes the exhaust.
Of course. And
braided lines, which, you know, that's always a really good idea these days.
That's the one thing where you can say, no, I'm not going to stay purist. No.
Yeah, exactly.
It's acceptable across the board.
Yeah. I mean,
well, was it running?
It wasn't running, no. So a carb rebuild, a tank swish. Luckily, the tank didn't need anything other than a quick swish and a quick derust. Yeah, it wasn't too bad on this bike.
Not like the GPZ or Bumbleblade.
Don't.
I don't upset him.
The tank on the GPZ cost me a lot of money. But yeah, so I went through the brakes, went through the fuel system, and did a full service, so oil, plugs, filter, and yeah, now it runs sweet as a peach. Okay,
keep your phone with you though, because I'm going to be riding. If I need to come and collect me or something, we'll see.
No problem. Yeah.
But just quickly, without it's too bad to reading off the phone. But what's it in there? They call it egg frame or something.
So it's an Ebox frame.
Ebox frame.
E standing for egg.
Yeah, so I got that bit right.
I believe it to be the first frame that surrounded, first aluminium frame that surrounded the engine to like effectively like protect it or whatever.
It looks pretty snazzy, and I expect when this came out in 1989, it must have just looked futuristic as if it is. So. If it is the first one. If we've got it wrong, I would say, sorry, we got it wrong, and it wasn't the first one. But you believe it's the first one with this style of frame?
Yes, yeah. I mean, if we're wrong, you know, people will put it in the comments, and then that boosts up the algorithms and the analytics.
Tell me we got it wrong. Yeah. Anything
this was the first bike to go 300 miles an hour. Right, anything you need to know? Yes.
I shall try to see if that's true today.
Yes, there is something you need to know. The tyres are a bit old. I never put new tyres on it, but I didn't want to spend another £300.
We'd already decided that if it was wet today, this was not going out on the road.
Exactly.
Well, I think more than anything, like I said, I want to feel what it was like to be back in 1989. The ergonomics, just interested to see how it feels. A good old carb bike, which, as you know, I love with my VFR, the Fireblade.
100%.
Really looking forward to it. Really appreciate the opportunity to give it a whirl around the block. I can't go too far because I will get lost because I can't find a way to put sat nav on this at the moment. There's too much flaff. But yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
No, not at all. Not at all. You break it, you buy it. Oh, there is one thing you need to keep an eye on. Make sure the sump plug doesn't fall out. It's got a tendency to do that on these.
see you later. So. Sounds fruity. So first thing I notice is it goes like that. It's lovely and comfortable. It's very low down, flat foot, bent leg. Comfortable position. Brakes feel good. Of course they've got these lines on there, but looking good. Little crack in the mirror there. It's very low. It's very comfortable. It really pushes your back nice and straight. It's really comfortable. So it's standing there. I'll see you later. Right, now that I'm out, I can talk. So, comfort-wise, it really does push your back nice and straight. It's very, very comfortable. Feels almost like Tourer-ish, if you get what I mean. Yeah, back brake is non-existent. Gears, yeah, fairly soft. Little bit of play, I think, in that in the shift selector. I mean, instantly power-wise, I mean, you know, 3,000 revs. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of. It's got a lot of oomph. It feels, you know, it's not Fireblade, even though similar. Well, same horsepower. It's a bit more progressive. I think the gearing's possibly a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure, but power-wise, it's not lacking. I mean, it's literally what we're doing: 30 miles an hour, 2,500 revs. So I'm now in 6th gear. What's it like? Well, it doesn't quite like 30 miles an hour in 6th gear. Could also be the carbs need a little balance, and you open the throttle up there, it doesn't do that, so it doesn't like that. But then again, not as a 5-blade or any bike. Yeah, really good, done a good job on those front brakes. It feels as if it's got a low front tyre, but it hasn't. So I think the suspension needs some work on this. But we're talking about setting up. We're not talking about the bike itself. Sounds lovely, very smooth. I don't know what's picking up on the camera, but it really is a beautiful sounding engine. Probably sounded smooth originally as well because of the you would of course had the original can on. This has got an aftermarket that everybody did then, but yeah, I mean, this bike is 1989 and just riding it is just, oh, feel that. Oh, that is glorious. No idea where I am. I shall of course be using voice prompts in the sat-nav to get back. I don't know where there are any twisties around this area, but first gear, yeah, loads of pull. Oh, it feels good. Clutch is lovely, nice and light. Superb. Oh, this is. You could ride this all day. You could literally ride this all day. And looking at, of course, the rear tyre a bit squared off. The ideal commuter, I would think. Oh, nice, nice. Oh, I want to open it up. I can't. I think I'm in some kind of a housing estate at the moment. It's ridiculously comfortable. It really is comfortable. Oh, it sounds glorious. It's a big bike, isn't it? But I mean, they were then. But I mean, look at the amount of infrastructure you've got in front of you here. It's a long old reach just to get to those clocks. And of course, we've got a fuel gauge, temperature, rev counter, huge. Red line's at 11. I mean, you got, I don't know what that is. I think a flap to get to the to your bits and pieces. I am enjoying this. Mirrors, meh, not bad at all. Bit weird looking. And again, we are back in 1989, aren't we? Alright, so yeah, it seems to it runs out fairly quickly compared to, obviously. I mean, like, literally, I've just ridden up on the Fireblade, which just keeps going. But the initial pull and the torque, I can't remember what the torque was, but you know, it's definitely good. You're quite low on this bike, as I mentioned. Outside Ashley's, quite low. You are really in the bike. You could be confused into thinking this is a modern engine, though. I mean, it's so smooth. I think they reached the peak of engine technology a long time ago. This is from an era when bikes were for men. Am I allowed to say that anymore? Not sure. Effortless though. Oh, I really hope that some of the sound is being picked up here, because the whir of this engine's, wow. It's weird. Sitting on it now thinking that this feels like the ultimate kind of sports tourer, perfect for commuting, and yet this was the fastest bike of its age. You get what I mean. In 1989, this thing was hailed as like just a speed demon. And there's me comparing it to a sports tourer. I'd love to feel this feels like 160. Unfortunately, we can't. There's sun there, indicator's working. You got your turn, your high beam, your neutral, your oil. Got to watch out for that sump plug. I hope he was joking. Can I turn right here? Yeah, I can. Makes a little jump when you put it in gear. I think I could ride this all day. I'm not joking. This is so comfortable. Arms are right stretched out. Back is straight. Neck is straight. Here I am, you know, waffling through traffic. And I think I'm in third. Perfect gearing. It's one thing I was looking at. I mean, like I said, I can feel the heat, but no temperature gauge at the moment. But let's get a little squirt. I mean, this thing's got a lot of power. I mean, the looks are... actually, it'd be quite interesting to think about, you know, you think about this. So this was the fastest bike of the time. So it's obviously going to be appealing to, you know, those that like very fast sports bikes. Were the looks super cool back then? When you rocked up at a bike night in 1989, was it like, wow, you know? Let's jump off again and have a quick look. Let's bring it around here. So if you turned up at a bike night in 1989, were you like the main man? It's weird, actually. Sitting on it, it almost feels almost like an old BMW. I don't know. It feels like a very old school, old man's polite vest wearing tourer. However, when you're looking at it, I mean, it looks splendid, doesn't it? It looks absolutely splendid. It looks sporty. Fair and looks great. I mean, look at that Ebox frame, twin 16 valve ZX10. Absolutely gorgeous. And in Europe, these were known as the Tomcat, not in America. Tomcat. Oh man. Isn't it? Isn't it lovely? I'm truly honoured today to to have the opportunity to ride this. I really am. Nice. If I didn't have my Fireblade at Ashley's, I think I'd just take this home. Change my phone number. Whoa! It's got the oomph. It's got a lot of oomph. I expect though this just keeps going, doesn't it? To its famous top speed. Whoa! Oh man, that's nuts. It's so fast. Well, thanks for coming along on this video. Please like and subscribe. Massive thanks to Ash. Check out his videos. Please like and subscribe to him. And unfortunately, I've got to take this back. So, do I have to take it back? Maybe. Do I really have to take it back? Not yet. I don't want to take it back. I'm enjoying this. Okay, well, I'm going to take it back. So, thanks again. I'll see you on the next one. Bye! 'Cause I've been living